So real quick, before we dive into the video, I want to bring something to your attention. You may have noticed, but I have changed the name of this YouTube channel. It is no longer Outdoors with Ian, though content and everything is going to be very similar, almost all the same. I have changed it to Blue Collar Bible, and the reason I've done that is because, one, that is going to be the name of the podcast that will be up and running before long, and it's just, the name just felt much more the direction I want to take things. Yes, there's still going to be tons of guns, gun reviews. Everything's going to be doing in correlation with Gun TV, though Gun TV does have its own channel. Gun TV will be advertising our merchandise there, our hats, beard oil, everything that we have now as well. So not much is going to change, but the only direction that this is going to change, though it has been more Bible-based, the Faith Fridays than other videos or some kind of little devotion in videos, the biggest change is that it's going to have podcast stuff, so hopefully some interviews here before long. And like I said, I've said it a couple times, but the biggest change is just even more Bible-based for men. Now, women, if you're watching this, you are more than welcome, but I'm going to be addressing men, speaking to men, and talking more about manly things. But everybody is welcome, Christian or not. I hope there's something you can take away from this channel. But I hope you did enjoy today's video. It was fun. It was fun one to take. And I'll be back here at the end to talk about the Sig AXG Legion. Enjoy the video.
What's up? Another day on the range. Got our infinity target out there that we're going to be using. Shooting 3 new guns that I haven't shot today. First one being the Sig P365 AXG Legion with a Romeo X compact on it. I'm really hoping this gun redeems Sig for me. Not a Sig fan other than the Sig Rattler. Everything I've had, just haven't enjoyed. Hoping the Legion redeems that. Next, we're shooting the Glock 19X with the Aimpoint Acro 2 on it. I already know I like this. I have like 4, whether it's the 45 or the 19X, so I already know I'm going to enjoy that. Might not review that too much. And lastly, we got the Smith & Wesson Model K Comp Series. There's some other words, Pro Performance, something, Performance Center, something in there. Got this as well, but we're going to have a fun day on the range. Hope you enjoy the video. If you haven't already, swing over to guntvshows.com. Check out our new hats. As always, check out our shirts. We've also got beard oil and coffee as well. Enjoy the video.
Telling me to leave it in. A lot of blessings piling up that I ain't even wish for. None left over for y'all. I'm blocking the fridge door at the crib.
So I'm not going to spend forever out here reviewing these guns. I'll do that more when I get home. But again, using infinity targets. The Sig, just shot my first 17 with that. And obviously you can't tell through with the first 17, but it's making up some ground for Sig. I figured a metal frame would do that, but I'll go more into depth about the ins and outs of that gun when I get home. For now, there's dog crap somewhere down there. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy the range day. It's been quite a while since I've been out here on the range, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time behind the camera. I'll get some clips of me shooting, not a whole lot of drills. I'll do those outside of the camera. But first 17 through the Sig P365 AXG Legion. Gets a thumbs up so far. So the cool thing about infinity targets, they're self-healing targets. So after this, you just give it a good spray. We don't have white spray paint today, so hopefully this works. Yeah, I don't see why not. We'll spray paint over white later. But infinity targets actually are amazing. I really enjoy these. Can continue to use them over and over if you've never taken a look at them. It's probably because you don't follow very many gun influencers, but these things are awesome. So I told you I'm not going to do tons of shooting content, but we're going to get a few mags here. I'll do 2 reholster, 2 at a time, just so you can watch the, I guess, kick, whatever you want to call, of the video.
some of those are going for speed more than accuracy. Just trying to get comfortable with a new holster, a new setup, but I'll continue working on that, getting those groupings a little bit tighter. But as you see, the metal frame helps a lot with recoil management. But so far, so good with this gun. So this will probably be my last video to wrap up out here at the range, just because I want to shoot around, not have to worry about being behind a camera, but I also wanted to get you a little bit of a review on this SIG. So far, so good. We're probably closing in on a little over 100 rounds of this gun, and it's hard to tell by first 100 rounds, you don't know the reliability of it. But will it take over my Staccato CS? There's a big possibility of it. I'm enjoying it. I know the metal frame was going to help. I probably won't go back to SIG's plastic frames, but I am enjoying this gun. Haven't ran into any problems yet. Only thing that I'm seeing, what I'm used to, is I'm used to having the Leupold DP Pro, so as soon as I pull it up, I'm so comfortable with it, I know right where the dot's going to be. As you saw in the last clip, I was going more for speed than accuracy. There was a couple of them I was firing without even finding the dot. That's definitely, finding the dot's harder to do with a smaller red dot, but the more time I spend behind the gun, I'm sure it's much more comfortable I'll get with it. So just so you see, I'm going to go ahead and empty my clip of what I've got left in it with this, but it is definitely a gun. If you've got an extra $1,000 that you want to spend or so, it's definitely worth the purchase so far. I'll probably do another video on this after I'm closing in on 10,000 rounds or so, but for the time being, so far so good. It is working on redeeming itself. So I have finally gotten around to finish off this video of the Sig P365 X Macro, the AXG Legion. Just for the sake of all this, we are empty. There's nothing in. Good to go. But I wanted to finish up my review on this. Past couple clips you saw a little bit of shooting. Those videos were actually taken almost 2 weeks ago now, but life happens. But I want to wrap this up, and first off, you may have heard me say in the video, but I am not a fan of SIG up until this point. I've shot a lot of different SIGs. The Romeo red dots I personally have not had good luck with. I treat my guns like tools, and sometimes stuff gets dropped. My dog's coming over to say hello. Sometimes stuff gets dropped. I have not had luck with dropping anything of SIG. All the Romeos that I've had, a handful of them, multiple different ones, have shattered. I know they do have some kind of warranty, lifetime warranty, but it was pretty hard for me personally to get it switched out. So at that point I just didn't really care, and I switched to something else. But the P365s, I've had multiple of those, different colors. Obviously the color doesn't matter with the performance and stuff, but that is more of a preference of, I just did not feel good in my hands. I did not like the feel of it. I did not like the recoil management of it, which is to be expected with a plastic frame. Just wasn't a big fan. And so I know some people that absolutely love them. I was hoping my wife would. I bought her one at one point. She shot it, then she shot the Kimber Mako R7. She immediately is like, I'm taking this one, I want that. So to each their own. They're amazing guns. Just for me, not a fan. The X Macro, I liked it a lot better than the 365s, the regular 365s and 365 XL. But again, I just wasn't the biggest fan. And I'm looking over here because I have a couple of notes so I don't miss anything. And ultimately, for the price of the X Macro, I preferred a Glock. Yeah, the X Macro can get a little bit smaller, but Glock 19, tried and true, fits great, feels great, and you can do endless work to it. So that's why I still preferred that over. Now the next one, I had the P365 SAS when that first came out, and I was like, this is so cool, I love this, until, I don't know if you can see it on here, we have a scar right here. I accidentally shoved a knife through my hand, not necessarily like that, it was an accident. I didn't have any use of this hand for a little bit, and I still went shooting and everything. The SAS has nothing to grab to rack with. You don't think about these things until you're thrown in that situation. So with no hand, nothing to grab on my pant leg or anything, that made me get rid of that gun extremely quick. The concept behind it, really cool. No sights, anything. They're kind of built into the slide. That was a cool thought, but again, not for me. And then the last one that I had was the P320 Spectra. That is my least favorite gun I have ever had, and I don't know if I just got a bad one or what. Every type of ammo I shot, every time I shot, even after cleaning it, jammed. 2 shots, jam. Very finicky with any ammo. Did not have good luck with it. Tried to take it out to the range a couple times. Did not have any luck. But now let's get on to talking about this, because this has redeemed Sig for me for the most part. And I figured the metal frame would do that. So how do you know somebody is a staccato person? They tell you all the time, and you listen to my videos, I'm a staccato guy. So obviously I'm used to the metal frame. This isn't a 2011 platform, but it's a metal frame, so it's going to be a lot better than a polymer or plastic frame. I loved it. I loved the ported barrel. As you saw, it's a very flat shooting gun. Really enjoyed that. Only complaint that some people are going to have as well, the weight. Again, coming from a 2011 platform, I like the weight of it. It's only 26 ounces with nothing on it. Some people, that might be too much. That might be a make or break. For me, I love it. I like the weight behind it, especially when I'm shooting it. I have the Romeo, I believe it's the Romeo X Compact on it. There are red dots I like a lot more, and I like them a lot more because I've spent more time behind them. This one, I definitely think spending time behind, I'll get used to it. Right now it's a very small window, but the more time I get behind it, the more comfortable it's going to be just to get up in that sweet spot and know where to go every single time. It being 17+1, as you can see on here, I do not have a 17th in there. No matter how hard I have tried, I am not moving from this. So it might take the clips a couple weeks or so to loosen up with filling them and unloading them and shooting some rounds through them. When I first started, I could only get 15. Now I'm up to 16. Eventually, I think it'll get to that 17 and add the +1. It does have the Picatinny rail, and I believe Sig, I might be wrong on this. I think this is the standard Picatinny rail now. I think Sig P365s used to have a slightly different rail that didn't fit majority of the universal Picatinny rail stuff. Might be wrong on that, but I believe this one is fits majority of the universal stuff. Any flashlight you want to put on there will pop right onto the Picatinny rail. MSRP's around $1,200, $1,199. Majority of the ones I've seen for sale are a little bit more than that, up towards like the $1,250, $1,300 mark. But I expect those to, I would say, go down, but it's an election year, so you don't know necessarily what's going to happen. So ultimately, there's my review of the Sig P365 AXG Legion. Is it worth the money? Yes. Yep. I really enjoyed my time with it. It being cheaper than the staccatos, crap ever hits the fan, something happens, I would much rather this gun get taken than staccato like purchase. I'll still use my staccatos all the time, shoot with them, train with them, but for the time being, this Sig will be my everyday carry. Shout out to Superstition Concealment. That's the holster I have for it. There's not a lot of holsters out there for it right now, but that is the one I will be using. So is it worth it? Absolutely, it is worth it. I am switching it to my everyday carry and hoping to put a lot of rounds behind it. Obviously right now I'm only about 200 rounds in or so, a little bit less than that. Hopefully I'll update you again when I get closer to like the 10,000 marker stuff and put some true sweat behind it. But for the time being, I like it. I like it a lot. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Pay attention to stuff to come. Like I said, you're still going to get a lot of gun stuff, but now this is Blue Collar Bible, where we just want to do man things and ultimately glorify God in everything we do. So, I think that's my cue to pop this off. So, have a wonderful morning, night, afternoon, whenever you listen to this. Stay strong, keep the faith, and God bless.